Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely stream deck. For more information about the stream deck, the link is in the description below.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing iRacing GTE League, season number 7, round number 5, here at Daytona. My name is King-Kodiak, and I need to swallow. And I will be your commentator throughout this evening's race. Right, now that we have the introduction out of the way, let's get the interface on, and let's see who we have got riding with us this very evening. We have got, last I counted, 48 cars waiting to go. Now, for those that are unfamiliar with the series that we have 3 championships going on in the GTEs, the Pros, the Pro-Ams and the AMs. Now you'll see, as we're looking at Sarah Dove's Ford, you see she is number 200. The numeric designation is green. That signifies the Pro-Ams. You'll see on the left-hand side, the reds are Pros and the blues are the AMs. Now we stagger the qualifying, so not all 48 cars are out there at the same time. We also alter who is going out first, depending on which week we're doing. Some weeks the Pros come out first, some weeks the Pro-Ams, such as today, come out first, and in other weeks it'll be the AMs that come out first. So let's see who we've got representing our Pro-Ams this very evening. We have got Alexander Waldo for AOR GTE in the 216 Ferrari. We have Paolo Martins in the Phoenix Motorsports 299 Ferrari. We have Sylvian Moraine in the 286 VEC Sim Racing Porsche. Scott McCracken in the 208 Mayella HCR Scuderia Ferrari. Ranu Luke in the 230 V3 Racing Gold Porsche. Nearly said BMW there. Alex Bennett in the 250 Conrad Tepper Alliance Ferrari. Nope, that's an AM car. That's Jamie Smith. The 219 Porsche, it's Daniel Page for Team Bushfink Racing. Flavian Foku in the VZ Sim Racing BMW, car number 291. Callum McFall in the 205 Ferrari, the privateer entrant. Now, Christopher Pfeffer has been struggling a bit with lag, and seems to be doing so. The VSR, Visual Racing Alpha Ferrari number 263. Hopefully he's able to sort that out, otherwise it's going to be very difficult to follow. The Treble 2 AOR Yellow BMW of Evan Imre. Whoop, that's one of the Mayella Ferraris coming out of the pits. Chris Bell in the 235. That is the Ferrari we just saw coming out of the pits. Whoops, that's a bit of racing going on. That's not going to help you in qualifying there, folks. Sounds like someone went off the road as well. Oops. Oh dear. Just double check I've got things correct. Yes, I do. Yes, so the Mayella HCR Yamagura. Oh, that was someone off the road. The 235 car of Chris Bell. Andrew Langham Service, the Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing and 214 BMW. Regis Lemique in the 298 Big Blocks Racing Porsche. Philippe Gaillard in the 267 VEC Sim Racing Cyan Ferrari. And oh no, not quite. The 220 AOR Yellow Ferrari of Knut Martinsen. And finally, the 274 VEC Sim Racing Cyan Ferrari of Sebastian Riethmuller. That is who we have representing our Pro-Ams at the moment. The first man to get the time on the board is Regis Lemique, as he's just coming through turn 6 onto the big banking. Now, Daytona is a race of slipstreaming. So anyone that can get within a second of the car behind. So if we look back, we can see what I believe is Paolo Martins. I think that's the Phoenix Motorsports Ferrari. You could see how quickly, that is indeed the Phoenix Motorsports car of Paolo Martins. You saw how quickly he was able to gain on the Porsche there. And vast majority of that, well, pretty much all of that was slipstream. Now we're having some representative times come in. Daniel Page, car 219. It looks like he's getting a tow from Alexander Waldo there. Waldo setting a time literally just before him, and Page getting a ups, and Alexander Waldo has dropped that one in the 216 Ferrari. So the 219 Butchering Racing Porsche currently in the top spot of the Pro-Am category. Knut Martinsen has just jumped up to second. Never mind, he's just been usurped by the 299 Ferrari, as we were watching earlier. Oh, there's people tripping over each other. They will know that there's other cars around them. They've got time. They don't need to rush per se to get the qualities done. And Paolo Martins returns to the pits. They don't have a limited number of laps. They just have a limited amount of time. It's purely 8 minutes they have to complete their runs, of which they are about 5-ish minutes, roughly halfway through. And Daytona's not particularly long, so they don't have to... It's no Spa or Nords or anything like that where they have to spend forever doing an outlap. Paolo Martins currently third in the 299 Phoenix Motorsports Ferrari, as previously mentioned. Knut is on that banking section. Where is he coming up to? He's coming up to complete the lap, I think. Or is he coming up to the bus stop section? You can't really see from that camera. Oh, he's coming up to the bus stop. That's turns 8 through 11. Let's ride on board with Knut. It's going to take us on a lap of the amazing circuit that is Daytona. 1:41.155, as you can see in the top right of the screen, is his current time, of which that sits him in 4th position. Alex Bennett is in the top of the charts now with a 1:40.5. Now Knut's got no one to slipstream off of, and that time is a little bit slower. Let's follow him through then, as he peels off the banking for turn 1. No, nicely done. Let's actually get in the cockpit view of the Ferrari. Sweeps through turn 2. That double section is in past turn 2. Oh, Philippe Gaillard has jumped up to second with a 1:40.563. Wow, Alex Bennett set a stunning time there. Half a second clear of the field at the moment. So, through turn 4. Flat out there, kisses the apex, wanders over to the right-hand side, and then heavy on the brakes, as straight as he must for turn 5. Wanders over to the left-hand side, runs over the rumble strip, absolutely fine, and then opens up that entrance into turn 6 as much as he can, and on the throttle very, very early, just controlling the slide from the tail as he comes back onto the banking section. Long spell on turn 7 on full throttle, and this will be where the slipstream is absolutely crucial. And this will be where drivers will be wanting to work together to gain on those ahead of them. Very much the same as how IndyCar and NASCAR do it. These guys will want to be doing the same. We saw a lot of that last season when we've been, or any other season, we've been there before. Ooh, well caught there, Knut. The Ferrari's starting to get a little bit fidgety coming through that section. As Knut stays very, very low, very tight to the apron, as it's referred to as, and straight lines it to the line. I'm forgetting where the line is. I thought it was there. It's not. It's after this bit. There it is. And that's a 1:40.9 for Knut. He was briefly demoted to 6th, and that puts him back up into 5th position. Our AMs should be getting underway now. Oh, you can see they're getting ready to go. If we get on the blimp camera, you'll see there they all are gathered at the end of the pit lane, ready for when the timer hit. Well, they've got about 20 seconds before they get going. You can see the timer in the top left-hand corner. The session starts at 24 minutes. That -8, of course, leads you to 16, which is as soon as we have 60 minutes, they will be allowed to leave the pit lane. Now, any Pro-Ams that are on a lap will be allowed to complete it, but they must not hold up the AMs, and equally the AMs must not hold up the Pro-Ams. Now the AM cars are getting underway. We will go through them in the same veins. A few Pro-Am drivers still going. Let's see, Paolo Martins in the Phoenix Motorsports Ferrari. He's just gone through turn 3. Where's Knut? He's on that banking again. I'm assuming he needs to do the... Yeah, he still needs to do turns 8 through to 11. Regis the Meek is one of the first of the Pro-Ams to set a time in this session. He's right behind Knut, actually, on the track. Oops, and there goes the Porsche. And that's how easy it is. If you just take a little bit too much apex Yeah, the car will be unsettled and off into the dust. Andrew Langham's service just coming through turn 7 himself. And Evan Imre's just jumped up to 8th position in the AOR yellow BMW. Kills a couple of cones as he gets out of the way. And that is his session done. Paolo Martins must be coming to the end of his lap by now. Oh no, Paolo Martins coming through that bus stop session. Knut Martin did not improve from 5th position. Oh, Andrew Langham's service is directly ahead of the Phoenix Motorsports Porsche. We will check in with our AMP drivers shortly. That's the distance, and you can see how much being left behind is the Ferrari. That's obviously because the BMW was able to get on the gas that much earlier. Through the last part of turn 12, the last part of the banking, and it is an improvement. It's up to 5th for Andrew Langham's service, 140.899, and Paolo Martins up to 4th. Oh, he already was in 4th, beg your pardon, and his last lap invalid. Right, let's have a look at our AM category. That's a name I don't recognise. Welcome to you, Matthew Tucker, the privateer entrant, Ferrari 385. Gilles Hendricks, again another name I don't recognise. Welcome to you. As we have a few people setting times, or again at the end of their outlaps, so we'll come past them as well. Jamie Smith, who is in the 345 privateer Ford. Nicholas Domino. There's a few things I want to point out on the nose of his car. It's something I've been meaning to do and I kept forgetting to do it. When I go to the rear chase camera, he's got my name on the bonnet. And on the left, the bear, the myth, the legend, and that is me, King-Kodiak. Very kind of you, sir. That is I am very grateful for that. Crazy, crazy mad fool. He's in the PCDC Motorsports 307 BMW. Richard Fletcher, the privateer, British liveried 344 Ferrari. Oh, that's a pro driver, Roberto Eduard. Kevin Van Eyck in the Online Racing 318 Porsche. Thomas Coombe in the V3 Racing Red 371 Ford. Boy Williamson, the hard base racing, or hard, well, I'm assuming it's hard base as opposed to hard bass. I'm assuming that's an audio reference as opposed to a fishing reference. The 356 Ford. Victor Matios, who was one of the first cars out of the pits, I thought. In the 304 LM Connection Porsche, he is dragging with him Ben Hitchcock in the VSR Alpha 366 Ferrari. Felipe Salinar, the Big Blocks Racing 348 BMW. Another new name. That is James Hall in the 390 Ferrari. A few people that have got to the end of their... Actually, we've got a few people that have set representative times. Let's have a look. Nick Domino has jumped up into 7th position. That's a 140.976. Goodness me. Gilles Hendricks in the Porsche has pulled over. 141.037. Felipe Salinar in 15th. 141.272. Victor Matios right behind him in 16th. 141.302. Richard Fletcher now in 19th. 141.371. Craig Parsons, the 343 PCDC Motorsports Porsche, 23rd with a 141.665. That's only 1.6 seconds off the lead, bear in mind. Ben Hitchcock in the VSR Ferrari 366, currently in 25th with a 141.914. The name I can never attempt to pronounce. Warischek. That's as close as I'm ever going to get. Yetzi Warischek in the 360 Privateer Porsche. Anthony Washington in the VSR Bravo 336 Ferrari. Merlin Cooper in the VC Racing 369 Porsche. Daniel Lindholt, the 333 LM Connection Porsche. As Matthew Tucker, as mentioned, so we're looking at the tail end of Voracek. Thank you. I think you tried to type that out to me last week, if I recall. That's certainly easier way of saying it than I've been trying. So I'll stick with Voracek. Oh, I see. So that the ZY in the middle is silent. I can live with that. I can live with avoiding syllables. Absolutely fine. Who haven't I introduced? Jürgen Kleiber, the 342 Frederick Hecker 342 BMW. The grinning Ford. Hello, Chris Yardley, the 393 privateer entrant. Look at that! It looks even more amazing with the headlights on. I'm just going to go to the rear chase on that one. Look at he jumped back to the pits. There we go. Look at that. Just big grin and massive glowing eyes. That's absolutely amazing. Anthony Washington, as previously mentioned, the VSR Bravo Ferrari. I think Marco Zelenica in the 324 Castrol Ford, the privateer entrant. I think I've introduced everybody else. So who is our AM leader at the moment? That is Cohen Van Eyck with a 140.911. They still have 1.5 minutes to go, so I'm a little surprised we're seeing AM drivers in the pits, but maybe they feel they can do no more. Gilles Hendricks. Oh, a little close there. I can see the incident count today. Jolly good. No, that's been a bit of a problem for our admins with a few things not quite going our way. But, oops! And he got a little bit twitty under braking there. And unfortunately, Gilles Hendricks has gone off the road. With a minute on the clock, he will not have time to start another lap. Richard Fletcher is currently third. He is in the pits. He will not improve with that 141.166. Philippe Salinas in fourth, just coming back into the pits in the 348 BMW. Victor Matias 5. He's in the pits. He will not improve. Already one of the pro drivers is sat at the end of the pit. I think that's Michael Draxler. So the pros then getting ready to see out our qualifying session. When the timer hits 8 minutes, they will be released. So Ruth Muller is not an AM driver. Ignore that. Craig Parsons is 5th in the PCDC Motorsports Porsche. Anthony Washington 6. Merlin Cooper 7. Ben Hitchcock 8. Matthew Tucker 9. Although he's coming to the end of a lap. He's got 10 seconds. Well, he doesn't have 10 seconds to complete it. He has 10 seconds to get over the line, which I don't think he's going to do from there. No, he's coming in the pit anyway. And then, do we have anybody in the AMs? No one in the AMs didn't set a time. Oh, Thomas Coombe, beg your pardon, but he looks like he's had a problem. Is not in session. Now our pros have been released. Our pros are now underway. Can't see them from that shot. There we go. Now the pros are on the field. Looks like all of... Oh no, James Hall is still out there for the AMs. Let's catch up with him before we go through our pros. The Maiella HCR Corsa Ferrari. No, he's called it a day. He's pulling over. His day is done. Right, let's go through our pros then. The 110. I kept saying 110. I was putting too many ones in that last week. The Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing 110 Porsche of Claudio Klima. The 189 Huber Racing Esports Ferrari of Michael Draxler. 188 Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing. I think he's in the Porsche. Must be. Yep. Of Timo Golek. The 123 Black Eagle Racing Ferrari of Ivor Costa. Our season leader. Our pro leader, I should say. The 113 Ferrari, Satellite Racing Ferrari of Jarek Areni. I'll go through the championship standings when we are down gridding up. Ooh, a bit of traction control kicking in there. Didn't think these things had traction control. He's just feathering his throttle there. 161, that is the Sim Racing Channel White Porsche of Roberto Edward. 184, that is Maiella HCR Scuderia BMW of Ina Marinsky. The 137 Comrade Gaming Porsche, Dominic Gaydemer. We didn't see him last week. He is with us this time at Daytona. The champion, the number 1 Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing Porsche of Dan Sasolski. Oh, Mike Scapers has jumped back to the pits and may not actually be in the session. That would be a bit of a shame if he has encountered a problem. Mr. Holstein, Christoph Holstein, the 109 Comrade Gaming Porsche, has just started his hot lap. And Nathan Parkinson, oh, his numeric plate's the wrong colour. That should be red. But he's definitely in the pro category. And he is on his way then in the Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing Ferrari. Right. Then who shall we follow? I don't know who left the pits first. So possibly Mr. Gaydemer. Where is he? He's coming through turn 4. He missed out last week on an amazing race we had at the Nürburgring. Hopefully Mr. Holstein won't encounter the same kind of issues he had last time. Oh, bit of dust being kicked up there from Dominic. And goes onto the back straight. No one anywhere around him. No one anywhere around him, so he's not able to slipstream off of anybody. I'm surprised we're not seeing more people, like certainly the geodesic line. I'm surprised we're not seeing them kind of bunching up and using the slipstream. There's not a lot of time to kind of organise it, so to speak, but they could easily come out of the pits at the same time. So a little surprised by that, but that is what we see. Claudio Klima come to the end of, I'm assuming, his time lap. It could be his out lap, because I don't have a time for him. He could have invalidated his out lap time. Let's just see. No, that was his out lap. It does not take 20 minutes to go around. Oh, now we're starting to see some times on the board. Dan Sasulski, currently top of the table. Whoop, there's a dead road cone. 1:40.056 for our champion, Ina Marinski. Wow, Alex Bennett. Oh my goodness, Alex Bennett is within 1,000th of a second of the time that Dan Sasulski has just set. Wow, look at that on the overlay. 0.000. Now my overlay is telling me that he was 1,000th behind. So the fact that the gap is coming up as 0.000 would mean he's within 1,000ths. Wow. That's a cracking effort from Alex Bennett. So Ina Marinsky currently third, 1:43.09. Holstein, fourth overall, third in class with a 1:40.313. Once again, the times are piling in, are very, very, very close. Ah, yes. It's, well pointed out there, Mr. Langham Service. A draft from Mr. Bennett, but there is nothing to say that they can't do it, and I'm surprised more people aren't. Oh, Drexler is on the back of... That's Ivor Costa in the Black Eagle Ferrari. So Mike has returned. Where is Mr. Scapers? Interesting that Mike Scapers isn't with us. We should have 50 cars with us, but unfortunately Mike seems... Either Mike is connecting at the moment, because his name is greyed out on my screen, or he's had a problem, which would be a great travesty if that is there. Where is Dan? He is slipstreaming off the back of... Can't really see who that is. Nope, that's not going to help me. Is that... No, it's not Marinsky. Marinsky's in the BMW. Trying to work out who that is directly ahead of him. Edouard? Yep. Roberto Edouard is giving our champion a tow down the road. And over the line. That was an out lap for Sasolski. That was a 1:52. So no improvement. Just over 2 minutes left on the board to get their quali laps done. Who hasn't set a time? Klima, Gorlick, Caroni, Thomas Kuhn from the AMS didn't get a time on the board. And as mentioned, Mike seems to be having a bit of trouble. Where is... Klima has had trouble. He's had to bounce back to the pits. So his day is not going to get any better. Because is he going to have time? No, he's not going to have time to come out and set a lap. Well, he's coming out for a bit of practice, but he must not hold anybody up. Where will Jarrad Caroni fall? Staying very hard to the bottom part of the banking turn. Where will Mr. Caroni, Satellite Racing 113, where is he going to appear? Oh my goodness, he's actually riding the... my goodness, he was holding on to the actual apron. 1:40.1 puts him in third. 44 thousandths off the top spot. And that has Alex Bennett in between them. Oh, Mr. Holstein's back in the pits. He can do no more. No higher than fifth with a 1:43.13. Ina Marinsky is up to fourth with a 1:43.09. He's just crossed the line. And that was a slight bit slower, but he is pressing on nonetheless. He does have time. He is allowed to, rather, to finish the lap. Drexler is still following Ivor Costa. And that's the power of the slipstream. And bearing in mind that they've been at full throttle for quite a few seconds, and that's a 39.8. Was it valid? Yes, it was. 1:39.864 for Michael Drexler. Puts it, and a big flash to the lights. Thank you very much, Ivor Costa. He himself in 8th position with a 1:44.38. That is the power of the slipstream, ladies and gentlemen. Very nicely displayed for us. Where is Nathan Parkinson? He's still out there. The 155 Geodesic Racing Ferrari he's just gone through turn 2, so he's quite a way towards the beginning of the lap. The checkered flag is out. So we have got Parkinson still on track. Roberti Edouard, he's right the way down there in 30th at the moment. He's really struggled to catch up to the pace of the pros. He's at 1:41.559 is his quality time. Klima yet to get a time on the board, as well as Timo Gorlick, actually. That's a bit of a surprise. So two of the geodesic Porsches still yet to get a time on, but we'll see where they fall. I think... Where's Parkinson? He's just come onto the banking, so... where's Timo? He's just gone through the bus stop, so Timo will be the first one over the line for those that are still on track. They've got 1:40 to hit the flag, which they will, because they're all well into their laps. What time will Timo Gorlick get on the board? He did do 1:40.9, but he was invalid last time around. What can the geodesic 188 Porsche do? And again, staying very low to the bottom of the circuit. 1:41.307 is his time. That puts him 26th. He's got a lot of work to do from there. Where's Klima? He is coming up to the bus stop area. Where is Parkinson? Slightly ahead of him. Where's Sasolski? Just gone through the bus stop. So Dan will be the next one over the line. Let's see what the champion can do. Can he regain that pole spot? He's got to find 2/10 to do it with no one to slipstream off of. It took a huge amount of slipstream for Michael Drexler to overcome the Porsche in the first place. Just bear that in mind. Klima jumps up to 9th with a 1:40.451, and Dan does not attempt it. Where does Timo appear? He's backed off, I think. Yep. He's backed out of it. So our grid is set. Sounds like the Porsche's ill, but he hasn't hit anything. Okay, I'm not sure what Timo's trying to do there. But he's the only one. He's just burning the clock down, basically. As it has another 10 seconds to go. And he's going to return to the pits. Right. Our grid then looks like so. Drexler and Sasolski on the front row. Then Alex Bennett for the Pro-Ams right up there in third. Then it is Karoni, Marinsky, Holstein, Gainemer, Costa, Klima, Gaillard, Parkinson, Page, Martins, Langham Service, Cohen Van Eyck, our lead am in 15th. Then Martinson, Domino, Hendricks, Pfeffer, Bell, Fletcher, Imre, Lemique, Dove, Salinar, Matios, Gorlick all the way down there in 27th. Foku, Leithmiller, McCracken, Waldo, Edouard, Luke, Parsons, Washington, Cooper, Hitchcock, Tucker, Moraine, McFall. I've forgotten how we were going to say. Voracek is how we were going with that one. And Yardley, Smith, Linholt, Kleiber, Williamson, Hall, Zelenika, Scapers if he's able to return to us, and Coombe as well. Okay. What a grid. What a race we have got. 1 hour, 20 minutes of this circuit gives us approximately 48 laps. So before we have a look at who is going to be where, let's get onto the Blimp Cam and let's have a look at our AM Championship. Victor Matios barely edges out Richard Fletcher at the top of the table, then Cohen Van Eyck, Zelenika. We don't have Al Reed with us. He had a cracking debut last week. And then Domino, Hitchcock, Coombe, Linholt and Smith in his championship defence season has not gone well for him at all. In the Pro-Ams, Moraine leads McCracken, again by a narrow points advantage, then Langham Service. Gibbons is unfortunately not with us. He has pulled out of the league. Then it's Imre, Bennett, Pfeffer, DeVille. We haven't got Richard DeVille with us. Sluman and McNinch. Again, McNinch having a great race last week. In the pros, Karoni with a very comfortable lead up front. Holstein, we didn't have such a strong race last week, but still did a decent effort. It's Nürburgring, then Scapers, Klima, Gaidemeyer, Sasolski, Costa, Marinsky, Drexler, and Parkinson. Okay, most people have gridded up by now. Now the lights We're not doing a standing start, so the lights are fairly well, the lights just tell us when the pace cars are going to get going. Oh no, the lights are actually still on ready, so maybe the lights will actually go out. It's the first time I've actually seen the lights used in a rolling start, so maybe we will actually see the lights change. Mike did actually join us, and he starts at the very, very back of the field. V3, look at that, both V3 Fords at the tail of the field. You do not often see that. We get towards the top end of the field. Where is Caroni? I'm trying to find his name. Oh, we've lost Christopher Pfeffer already, unfortunately. Where is... I cannot find... Unfortunately, because at this moment the names are not listed in their qualifying position. There he is. We get on the chopper cam there. There is Jared Caroni on that second row, alongside Holstein. Okie dokie. So any moment now, the pace car will be... I can't see the pace car from there. The pace car will be pulling out of the way. And we are racing here at Daytona. Lots of fidgeting going on, particularly in the midfield, as everybody then starts to fight and battle their way towards turn one. Who is going to be bravest on the brakes? Who is going to control the wheels? Oh, look at that from Holstein. It's jumping up into second position, ahead of the geodesic Porsche of, I think it's Dan Sasolski. It is indeed. Sasolski and Holstein side by side. Alex Bennett is still in there in third. Lots of battling going on. I'll try and catch up with everybody. Look at this. Holstein is still side by side with Alex Bennett. Oh, it wasn't Holstein. Oh, beg your pardon. Holstein's actually done his sixth. I've been calling that completely wrong. That's the Tepper Alliance car of Alex Bennett. I thought that was Holstein. Of course, Holstein's in the Porsche. My mistake. Alex Bennett up into second position now. He has managed to get past Dan Sasolski. Nicely done, but that's given Mike Drexler a good second already. Now, the slipstream will kick in at roughly a second's gap, and Drexler's almost broken that already. Oh, wow, we've got people with already 5 incidents on the board. Sarah Dove has managed to get herself 5 seconds. Jürgen Kleib has started from the pit lane, so he hasn't lost too much time, as it happens. He seems to have caught the back of the field. And as I say, we've lost Christopher Pfeffer from the race already. There is Caroni. He's up to third now. So Dan Sasolski's lost another spot in everything going on. So, no, the blimp's too close. There is Sasolski. Now, Inar Marinsky in 5th position. There's Holstein and Gadamer, the Comrade Gaming Porsches, 6th and 7th at the moment. Costa 8, Kleeman 9, Gaillard 10th. The BMW looks like he's... Now, we'll see a lot... Ooh, my goodness! Go for a move into turn 1 like that was only really going to go badly wrong. Oh, Gilles Hendricks is... oh, Kevin Van Eyck! What's happened to Kevin Van Eyck? No, I can't get his name. Come here. Oh, no! What on earth has happened there? What happened to the 318 Amp Poleman? Oh! Oh, that's a very unusual incident. So Kevin Van Eyck's going again, ironically through the pit lane exit. Oh, what a shame for him. But look at this, jumping back up to the lead of the race. Alex Bennett has actually closed in. He's about half the distance between himself and Drexler. So Alex Bennett showing some brilliant pace with the Comrade Tepper Alliance team. As we can now start to see the field getting into its routine. There is Jared Caroni. Now we'll basically see where you can see Jared just hanging into the slipstream. You'll see a lot of that, where drivers just biding their time in the slipstream. That's who was that in the BMW? Oh no, that's not BMW. That's a Porsche. That's Dan Sasolski going a little bit high. Oh, Dominic Gaineman, what's happened to you? Did you get a slowdown, sir? I'm just suddenly seen you plummet through the field. Let's see what happened to the 137 Porsche. Yeah, that'll do it. Slowdown this early in the race tends to be pretty catastrophic. Oh, what's happened up front? Where's... Oh my goodness me. Side by side, Caroni and Bennett really getting very interested in Drexler's lead. And still side by side going on between Bennett and Caroni. And Bennett is not willing to let that go. Jared Caroni with the inside line. He's going to have to let it go. And through into second is Jared Caroni right behind Sosowski, Marinsky, Holstein. Holstein having lost his wingman. Now a bit of a gap between Christoph Holstein and Ivor Costa. There is the Black Eagle Racing Ferrari. The only reason that gap's there is because Dominic Gademir fell out of it. We get onto the Blimp Cam. Yeah, you'll see that top 6 involved in that pack now. Mike Drexler is going to find it very, very difficult to break away from that. But I'm very curious on what Alex Bennett is going to do. He is quite some distance ahead of second place in class, Philippe Gaillard. Philippe's in 9th and 3.5 seconds down the road. So in theory, it doesn't really benefit Alex Bennett to fight that hard in this race. But what it does do is give him a lot of a lot of cushion between himself and his classmates. Oh, that looks like Holstein. Whoop, that looks like Holstein is shaping up for a move on Inar Marinsky. That's what it looks like on the nose of the Porsche. Drexler and Caroni have just swapped round. We can't quite see it from that angle. Oh, Drexler had the inside line. Caroni was able to draw alongside the Satellite Racing Ferrari. And now, as looks like Philippe Gaillard's lost the position to Daniel Page. There goes Caroni on the inside of turn 3. Can he make it stick? We get on the nose of Alex Bennett. He's got a great ringside seat for this battle. Drexler's going to have the inside for turn 4. And Alex Bennett could really get involved in that as well. Is he going to try and dive on the inside of Drexler? No. He opts for not making that particular move. There sounded like a bit of a bump. There goes Sosowski on the inside of Bennett. And it looks like Marinsky wants to follow suit as well. Now Bennett's got to be very, very careful. As mentioned, he's not in this same category. He's not in the pro class, although he's doing a damn good job of keeping up with them. So there's a bit of pressure on him not to kind of make a mistake and wipe out people around him. He's doing a great job of minding his own business. But of course all that has done is just bunch up the field. Jared Caroni now leading the way. Alex Bennett having a look on the inside of Sosowski, coming down to turn 8 into that bus stop section, but not making the move. But Marinsky right under the rear wing of Alex Bennett. And it's performances like this that will help when the classes are changed. It could well make a case for himself to be up in the pros. He's gone very high on that banking. That could be optional. Could be a mistake. Not sure why he would do that. That's jumping up to the front though. Now also another benefit of sitting in the slipstream, particularly for a long period of time, is fuel usage. The one up front, the one that's got all the air resistance, is going to be using that little bit more fuel than the ones behind. Now, it won't be particularly relevant now, but come pit stop time, that will be very, very relevant indeed. I'm going to use this blimp cam quite a lot because the TV cams are very, very close. Oh, look at that. That's Marinsky. That's gone very, very deep. As Ivor Costa. Oh, we've got trouble further down. It looks like Reithmull is in trouble. Yep, I'd say he's in trouble there. The 274 VEC Ferrari. That's Sarah Dove's purple Ford. Oh, dear. Trouble at turn 1. We'll jump back up to our lead battle then as Caroni again looking like he's... Caroni went very high. Again, that could just be personal preference to try and get on the gas a little bit earlier. We look behind. That's Sosowski and Bennett. Bennett looking to try and overtake Sosowski. Sosowski staying to the lower part of the banking to defend against the Ferrari. It does look like Bennett is very interested in sort of getting past and staying within this pack. And why not? He's perfectly entitled to. You know, there is a team championship going on, so he's the only one of the Conrad Tepper Alliance as far as I'm aware. Drexler again, it's getting in the slipstream of Caroni. Now again, Drexler is probably going to want to stay in the slipstream for a long period of time. See Holstein in the back of that particular train. So, yeah, if someone makes a mistake, they may well capitalise on that and make the place, but they may not necessarily sort of make the dive, make the big move at this stage of the race. This is all about slipstream and strategy. Oh, trouble! That's Ivar Costa! What has happened to the... Oh, a huge hit from the 155 car. That's Nathan Parkinson. Oh, we've lost Callum McFall. What's happened to Callum McFall? That's the 205 car. Oh, he missed his braking spot into turn 1. Slams. It's been slammed by the 205 Ferrari, and he has called it a day. Oh, and then lots more trouble right behind him. Oh, Matthew Tucker has recovered to the pits as well. Let's see if we can find out what happened to him. If the camera would change. There he is in the Privateer 385 Ferrari. Oh, he's got that all wrong. And he's hit the VEC. That's the trouble we were seeing. That's caused all kinds of issues. But he's recovered to the pits. It wasn't. Oh, and there he goes. He's had some. He's not even steering there, so he's had some kind of technical problem, and that has retired him from the race. Oh dear, oh dear. Not the way I'm sure he wanted. He would have wanted his debut in this season. Back into the front then, Caroni and Draxler. Still only a tenth apart, but as mentioned, I wouldn't be surprised if that stays that way for quite some time. Sosolski still with Bennett and Holstein in a very short order. The one that's in a bit of trouble is, in a manner of speaking, Dino Marinsky. He's got no one. Well, I say no one. He's got that pack of 5 we've just been talking about. He's not in slipstream range. He's not even close to slipstream range, and he's about half a second off the pace of the top 6. But equally, he's got no one directly behind him. So, you know, he's in essentially a bit of no man's land there. So he's going to have to try and either fall back to try and get a slipstream off of Daniel Page, and the pack that he brings, there it is behind them, which has got Nathan Parkinson, Claudio Klima, Paolo Martins, Dominic Gadamer, Andrew Langham Service, and Kenu Martinson. A little bit off the back of it is Ivar Costa, Evan Imre, Timo Gorlick, and Chris Bell. It's a big, big pack of cars there. As Gorlick and Imre swap round. Again, not in the same category, so Evan pretty much let that one go. Oh, again, our leaders. Very, very close. Yeah, Eno Marinsky can either try and drop back and get some slipstream off of that backpack, but he's actually getting away from them. So we will see what he chooses to do. As Michael Drexler. Oh, what's going on with Kenu Martinson? Oh, nothing. This is Ivar Costa's gone past him. Again, like his teammate, I would imagine Knute's just let the Black Eagle 123 Ferrari go. Oh, trouble! That's Scott McCracken! Oh, my goodness! And he's out! Oh, way too hard into the bus stop. And a fairly decent-sized clunk into the wall. And that is Scott McCracken's day done. Oh, what a shame. Huge shame for him. And that's just how quickly a race can change. You get into your rhythm, sure, but because the speeds generally are that much higher, if you do make a mistake, it will carry you a very long way. Keeping on the eye of the lap times, Eno Marinsky was about half a second quicker than Dan Sosolski this time. So Dan's made a mistake and ended up back at the back of this pack, if I can get it right. Oh, trouble again! It's Costa again! What's happened to Ivar Costa? Oh, the tail just completely let go at turn 5. Whoa! And barely managed to get out of the way of people as they came past. And then he's had to reverse and try and give him an angle back on track. So that's dropped him all the way down to 24th. That's Ben Hitchcock in the Ferrari that's just gone past him. Question in the chat, what's the difference between Pro, Pro-Am and Am? It is, there's 3 different championships going on. The Pro, the Pro-Am and the Am championships, all racing the same spec of car. It's exactly as has been mentioned there. It is driver skill and experience. It's initially decided on iRacing, but then once once we get a feeling on where drivers realistically place, they'll be placing the Pro-Am and the AMs. It's just so we have a big spread of drivers, but that they're not just completely left on their own. They have someone to fight against, essentially. So nothing technically stops the Pro-Ams fighting the Pros and the AMs fighting the Pro-Ams or what have you. May not necessarily, because they're in separate championships, it may not necessarily benefit them, but take for example Alex Bennett, who has been passed by Christoph Holstein. He's really making a case for himself on the pace he is showing, and could be considered for pro elevation, so to speak. So we will see how that goes for him. At this stage, I'm not expecting a huge amount of passing in, punching and counter punching going on. We'll see a lot of that post pit stop, I would think. Marinsky's trying his best. Subtle hidden there. Check out the new V3 livery. Well, as you mentioned it, let's just have a quick look at who we've lost already. So Scott McCracken, Cohen Van Eyck, Gilles Hendricks, Matthew Tucker, Callum McFall, Boy Williamson, and Christopher Pfeffer we have lost. So down to 43 cars now, which is a bit of a shame. Let us see who we can find. Who else is in it? So Nathan Parkinson's in a bit of a battle at the moment. Why is he in a bit of a battle? He's leading a train, I should say, of himself, Claudio Klima. So Geodesic leading that particular pack. Then Paolo Martins. Oh, they've got someone in between them. Who is that? That's Scott No, it's not Scott McCracken. Who is that that's in between them? It is... trying to identify who that Porsche is. Or if they're a lap down, they should be getting out of the way. Oh, it's Daniel Page. Very nicely written on the back of the car. Daniel Page. Oh no, Daniel Page is actually in that. That's why I couldn't find him. I'd completely missed his name in the pack. What's going on with Regis the Meek? Nothing. Richard Fletcher's gone past it. Oh, we've got trouble. Sarah Dove. Oh no, the 200 AOR Hime cars round. Oh, she's lost that one at turn 1. Ben Hitchcock's had trouble as well. I saw his name in trouble, and yep, he's recovered at the pit as well. So Ben Hitchcock. Oh dear, what has happened to the VSR 36? Oh, again, another one that's made that mistake and ended up going through the pit lane exit. Oh dear, another one has befallen that particular issue. You have a cheeky addition to the rear of Mike Scaper's car. We'll have a look at Mike actually, because Mike started, well, there he is. He's in 29th now. Now, I have mentioned that the V3 livery is rather nice. I love it when it's lit up like that. I'm trying to look at what... let's have a look at the... Oh, that's too far away. Well, that is the rear of the V3 car as Sylvian Rain lets him through. I'm not sure what you're highlighting there, but that was the back of Mike's car. I do love that livery. Such a nice looker. So now everybody is settled into their rhythm. What's happened to Regis the Meek? Oh, he's gone very deep at turn 1. That's Flavian Foku and Richard Fletcher that's gone past. Richard's still in that fight, and yep, that's up to 18th for Richard Fletcher. And down to 19th for Regis. Let's have a look at where our class leaders are. So Jerry Caroni, as we know, is leading the race. Alex Bennett in the Pro-Ams. He's in 4th overall. You added the Angry Birds pig to the... let's have a look at Mike Scaper's car again. I have, but I can... Whoa! As someone was sat still there. Oh, steady, Mike. I must be blind because I can't see it. Never mind. Lots of other things to be talking about. So that's Mike up to 26th from starting on the back row. making his way. He's 37.2 seconds off the top spot. And it's a long, long way to go. Oh, interesting. I don't think Mike was trying to make a move there. It's just the line that he was choosing to take. Probably didn't pile into the back of Jarek or any of that. Klima and Parkinson very close together as well. The geodesic pair. Looked like that sent. Looked like they sent the Porsche very, very wide there. Oh, Nick Domino, what's going on with you? You're lagging for a start. It's Ivor Costa that's just gone past you. Richard Fletcher is gone very wide at turn 1. And that's Flavian Foku through. That's Victor Matios. Oh, oh dear. Another one has made that same mistake. Oh my goodness, 3 wide over the line. And unfortunately, Flavian Foku is the one that, gets a punch in the face, it looks like, from Richard Fletcher and slams sideways into the wall. And that's another car gone from this race. Oh, we've lost Mike. We've lost Mike. Mike had connection trouble during qualifying, but it does look like Mr. Escapist has gone. So won't get a chance to try and find the Angry Birds pig on his car. Down to 41 then. No 40 cars with Flavian's departure. What a shame. He was making some very good progress, but sadly that has come to a halt. Now, as we switch to the gearbox camera on Jarek Aroni's car, you saw Mike was really gaining and then just backed out of it. And they're going to be doing that for quite some time. You can see Holstein in the next Porsche, and there is Alex Bennett. He's really dropped down to Solski, so Dan is not having such a great race in the number 1 Porsche, which is a bit of a shame. What's going on with Andrew Langham's service? Oh, he's in a 3-way battle. That's Knut Martinson and Timo Gorlick. Oh, the AOR yellow Ferrari going very wide, side by side through turn 2. A little touch on the grass, but nothing too bad. Oh, big move from Knut down the inside of turn 3 to regain 13th position. Nicely driven. Compared to Einar Marint, he's still in no man's land. He's 3.2 off the back of Dasasolski, although, oh no, never mind that. Richard Fletcher's in trouble. What's happened to the Privateer 344 Ferrari? Oh, the tail got very loose. Oh, nearly collected someone there at the inside of turn 3. But on he goes. Not too many people dangerously close to the incident limit. Sarah Dove has got the highest on the incident count with 14, and she's, after her problems, right the way down in 36th now. So this race not going well for Sarah, unfortunately. 10 cars gone from our original lineup. Oh, Holstein is close to Drexler, but again, I imagine that's not going to yield anything. He's going to hold station there. Oh, that's close. Oh, me of little faith. I saw Mike actually backed out of that. Mr. Drexler decided he couldn't defend the inside line. He just got out of the gas and through into second for the Conrad Gaming 109 Porsche. Where's his teammate? Dominic Gadimer down in 10th position. He's just lost the position to Paolo Martins into turn 1. That again is not for class position. Oh, and Dominic Gadimer. Oh, well, that's close. Dominic wanting to get that position back again. They really ought to work together. There's 2.6 seconds in between themselves and Claudio Klima as the Ferrari jumps back in the way of the Conrad Gaming Porsche. That's not really going to help them. But, there's one thing saying this is what you need to do. Is another thing when you're doing the racing. Oh, we've lost Thomas Coombe. There's another one gone. The 371 car of Thomas Coombe. Again, I think had trouble. I think he started from the back row as well. His issues have persisted, and that is another victim of this race. That is now 39 cars we have remaining. Now, Mr. Drexler is being challenged by Alex Bennett. I was not aware of anywhere that causes any phantom damage particularly. Oh, Gadimer was very close. Was side by side with Paolo Martins coming into the okay, excuse me, coming into the bus stop chicane. Not able to make the pass though. Don't see much more of it. Again, you look at that pack that's behind them. So in that pack behind, that Ferrari there is Timo Gorlick, and then you've got Knut Martinsson, Andrew Langham's service, who is looking on the outside of the AOR yellow Ferrari. And Chris Bell and Evan Imre in that pack as well. Oh, they always condensed quite a lot coming into turn 1. But considering they've been at full speed for quite a few seconds by that point, it always makes me kind of wince and think there's going to be something happening. And with the issues we've had already into turn 1, it wouldn't be at all surprising if somebody makes a mistake when they're in this kind of big pack like this. But on they go nonetheless. Wow, something has really gone wrong with Dan Sosolski. He is now 2.5 seconds off the back of the pack that he was in. Very surprising. Very, very surprising indeed. But of course he's got no slipstream now, so he may not actually have an option about the pace that he can deploy. But then Einar Marinsky hasn't had to... that's no DRS, wrong spot. Hasn't had any kind of slipstream at all. And he's matching. Oh, what's going on with Andrew Langham's service? Nothing. Chris Bell's gone through on the inside, heading towards turn 1. Oh, wow. Big staying moves. That's not turn 1, that's turn 8. Beg your pardon. That was the wrong banking there. Evan Imre right behind him. Anyone still on 0 incidents? Well, Andrew Langham's service was up until that particular moment. Roberto Edouard in 18th position. He's still got 0 counts, along with our RAM champion, Jamie Smith, in 29th. And that's it. It's only 2 people. Oh, what's happened to Paolo Martins? He's still fighting with Dominic Gaydemeyer. See, Dominic... Oh, wow! I would imagine Mr. Gaydemeyer will have a few words to say about that. And that's actually lost him a position to Daniel Page as well. So, and that can potentially bring that big pack behind him of Gorlick, Martinson, Bell, Langham, Service and Imre right in the mixture as well. That's the last thing Dominic Gaydemeyer needs. But we will see. Let's have a look at our AMs. How are our AMs doing? Victor Matios leads our AM class in 20th overall. He is 1.3 seconds ahead of Richard Fletcher. And Privateer Ferrari right behind him. And third is Nick Domino, who has been having a bit of lag problems. That's Alexander Waldo. He's just gone through the shot, so he's not in the AM class. Andy Proms is still being led by this man, and unless he completely falls off the road, he is likely to remain in the Pro-Am lead. Henry Klima is still with Nathan Parkinson. He's going over the Blimp Cam again. That actually doesn't give us much more. Oh, now that's Dominic Gaydemeyer on Daniel Page. Page has gone very high in the banking. That's very much a, it's almost a way of letting him go without losing any speed. It's not almost, it is a way of letting him go. Now he's going to have a crack at Paolo Martins. Again, he's run out of road. I'm very surprised that Martins is fighting this hard. He's perfectly entitled to. That is, of course, for on-track position. But it's not for class position. And it really is... It's here, of all places, is going to be very detrimental. Oh, no! Dominic Gaydemeyer getting too desperate to try and make the move stick. And he's dropped him all the way behind now. That pack that we've been mentioning. Oh, dear, Dominic Gaydemeyer. That was on you, I'm afraid. Oh, Drexler. What's just happened to you? Let's catch up with Mr. Drexler. Oh, that's what he's done. He's overcooked it into turn 6. And that's allowed Alex Bennett through. A simple mistake there from Michael Drexler. But that's really not going to cost him a great deal. Still very much in that pack for the lead. And with everything going on... Oh, Martins has gone deep into turn 8. That's dropped Paolo Martins behind Daniel Page. Here comes Evan Imre and Chris Bell. Oh, Bell going for the higher line. Canute having a think on what he's going to do. No, Bell's boxed in there. No, Chris Bell's going to try and part the waves. Three-way Ferrari battle heading down towards the line. Who is going to win out on this one? Can Martinson sweep that around the outside? No, he's going to have to slot in, but Chris Bell's already there. Oh, now there's going to be Bell and Martinson side by side coming through turn 2. And that's Chris Bell up into 12th. Could have got very ugly, so from Chris Canute Martinson trying to make the move has cost him a position overall. And Michael Drexler's got back past Alex Bennett for 3rd position. Again, I wouldn't be at all surprised if Alex didn't put up any particular fight with that one, as they're in 2 different classes. There's a race lead. That, I assume, is Philippe Saint-Léonard? No. I have to try and work out who that is they're gaining to. That will be... I can't tell who that is from that range. You catch a car number on the side of the Ferrari. And very wisely, they've stayed high and stayed very much out of it. Now that's exactly what I was hoping would happen, actually. You heard Holstein just get out of the throttle. He could easily have carried on that momentum and tried to get past Jarrad, but there's no point at this stage. One, because he would just be attacked straight back again the next time they get around to that particular point of the track, as the BMWs of Andrew Langham Service and Evan Imre are still squabbling over 14th position. Geodesic 214 keeping the AOR yellow 222 behind. Oh, that is Paolo Martins and Canute Martinson. A fight. Well, Martins is very, very feisty today. As Canute having to take the wider line through turn 3. Really, they should be working together. Have a fight after the pit stops, people. Oh, Sarah Dove's on 19 incident points. She's got to be very careful. One minor off-track excursion and she will be gone. And look at the damage to the front of her car. Oh my goodness, she's had an argument with the wall somewhere along the line. So that's going to make her day that much more difficult. Who shall we have a look at? Where's our AM leader? Victor Matias. There he is. The LM Connection 304 Porsche. That ahead is Ivor Costa and Roberto Edouard in 18th and 19th. Second in the AMs is Richard Fletcher. And third is Nick Domino. Oh, Holstein is again getting very close to Caroni, and now Drexler is back in the back in that lead hunt. Alex Bennett is very close to losing slipstream from that top 3. But he still finds himself some considerable distance from the rest of the Pro-Ams. Oh, Chris Bell, oh my goodness, that's Martins trying an outside manoeuvre at turn 1. Oh, he's still giving his foot in it. No, he can't quite hold it. Still, Paolo Martins trying to overtake everybody and dies on the inside of 3. Hits the Maiella Ferrari and, oh wow, gets very squirrely himself. Bell very unhappy with that, and Paolo Martins floors it. Through to the top of that group now is Andrew Langham Service. Wow, Paolo Martins. And that's put Paolo Martins on 15 incident points now. And Chris Bell still flashing his lights. He's very, very, very unhappy about that. He's still flashing his lights. That's borderline. You can get a penalty for that inappropriate use of lights. He's not lapping anybody. He's just purely venting frustration, which I can understand it, but you can be penalised for doing that. So just be careful with that. I'm just surprised that Martins is still fighting. And there he goes. He's trying an inside manoeuvre on Langham service. And he's going to get that one done before he gets to turn 8. Now, forgive me for not sounding too excited about that. But at this stage, it's just very surprising that he's fighting so hard. Oh dear, that's someone looking like they're in big trouble there. Or that's just someone that's lost momentum from being lapped. Who is that? Ben Hitchcock? Yep. The 366 VSR Alpha Ferrari, who's 8 laps down. He was in the pits for 14 minutes in the beginning part of the race, so that's why I couldn't figure out who that was initially. Oh wow, I think he's trying to stay out of people's way. I don't think he was running deep. That's Dominic Edemare, I think. Wow, Dominic Edemare all the way down to 16th. And we saw him have that big spin. Alex Bennett still right in there though. He was actually the quickest of the top 4 last time around. So Alex Bennett doing exactly what he needs to do to stay in contention with the top 4. Absolutely fair play, but he has got to close in that gap if he wants to guarantee staying in the slipstream. Fastest lap of the race at the moment, I believe, is Jared Caroni. It is indeed, with a 140 treble 2. And once again, Holstein getting pretty close. As Bennett is almost out of... I was going to say he's almost out of slipstream range. And no, I think that's Holstein just making himself known to Jared Caroni. He could have dived there, for instance. So it's pretty lunatic to do it, but he could easily, if he really wanted to try and force the move, there's plenty of opportunity to do so. He's just opting not to. And yeah, that has actually put Alex Bennett pretty much out of slipstream range now. The top 3, of course, working very nicely to slipstream off one another. But you know, if one does something that holds the other out, you know, Jared Caroni, who's been leading that pack pretty much all race long, if he makes a mistake, he could easily close that particular pack. Oh, that's Andrew Langham service to Canoe Martinson again. Battling for 12th, side by side through turn 1 and 2. And that's the geodesic BMW up into 12th. And Paolo Martins is back in the head of... Oh, what on earth happened to you, Evan? Did you bounce off your teammate? Nope, you went too deep into turn 3. And you... Oh, you did well not to spin it. I will give you that. Evan again had a really cracking race last time around at Nürburgring. Oh, in the Formula 3s actually, I think it was. Had a really strong race. Well, one of them in either the sprint or the feature race. Oh, lagging Christoph Holstein. He's really kind of disorientating when a driver vanishes like that. Oh, Sarah Dove's gone. I was just thinking about the incident limit, and Sarah Dove has picked up her 20th and final incident point and is therefore disqualified from the race. Paolo Martins on 16, so the way if he carries on like that, he'll be disqualified too. Every time we look at this top, well, what is now top 3? Oh, I thought Mike Drexler was going to go for a move there. Always Holstein makes that move to the high part of the banking turn. He's just putting the pressure, putting the distraction technique onto Jared Caroni. Post pit stop is when this is all going to kick off. Well, that's when I'm expecting it to kick off anyway. Oh, that's another incident point for Paolo Martins. Only 17 now. If Andrew Langham's service wanted to be particularly nasty, he'd just clunk into him and that would disqualify him. Andrew's only got 4. Not that I condone it. I'd imagine Chris Bell wants that to happen. I actually thought Andrew Langham's service was going to go for it then. But no. He's far more professional than that. Who else is close? Have a look further downfield. Oh, that's Anthony Washington and Chris Yardley. Side by side into turn 1. The Ferrari demotes the grinning Ford. Where is that in the AMs? Let's have a quick look. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is for 6th in the AM class. Daniel Lindholt and Nick Domino are squaring up for a battle of the last of the podium spots for the AM class. And Richard Fletcher he's about 3 seconds off the back of Victor Matios, although was a couple of tenths quicker than the 304 Porsche last time around. So Victor could have some company at the top of the AMs. Oh, and we have our first pit stop. It's Timo Gorlick. Pretty much, well, in fact, exactly bang on halfway through. So that is absolutely fine. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if we start seeing a big stream of cars coming in. There's another one, Regis Lamique from the Pro-Ams. The Big Blocks Racing 298 Porsche. Now there's not shared pit stops, pit boxes here. So it's not like Formula 1 where one team, one pit box. Nothing of the sort. So lots of people can come in at the same time and it doesn't necessarily cause a stacking effect. There's our leaders. Is any of them looking to come in? The Blimps too close again. And there's me saying Alex Bennett has fallen out of slipstream range. There he is at the bottom of the shot. He's right back in it again. Absolutely fair play from the Pro-Am leader. Wow, that Blimp does go a long way out. Are any of our top 4 going to come in? Timo Gorlick came back out in 25th. And Regis Lamique came out 30th. Jamie Smith is in. AM champion. Nope, none of the top 4 coming in. We just saw another couple come in. That was Marco Zelenica, the Castrol Ford, bringing his car in. Now, they have reduced fuel capacities in this season. Oh, wow, a big pack of cars just came in there. Dan Sasolski, Nathan Parkinson, Einar Marinsky, and Claudio Klima. Oh, and Daniel Page as well. Oh, crikey. And that is coming in with them as well. Is the... I didn't see the number of that. Martins is in. Langham Service is in. Chris Bell is in. Huge gaggle of cars. Oh, Evan Imre as well. This is rather what I thought would happen. Oh, Edouard and Costa both coming in as well. Oh, flash of the lights there from Roberti Edouard. And that's a very odd... yep, I thought you got that wrong. Ooh, don't... That's Victor Matios, I think. That's just gone through. So whilst they kind of figure it out amongst themselves, Dan Sasolski's come out of the pits in 7th position. Doesn't last a great deal because a lot of people behind him have pitted. Oh, that's Sylvian Moraine that hasn't pitted yet. It's going to come out right in amongst these pack of pro cars. That's Einar Marinsky in the BMW, who no longer is in no man's land, as you can clearly see. Looks like it's around about 45 seconds average pit lane loss. Oh, that is not what Einar needed. He did not want that VEC Porsche in his way. Because now we're seeing pit stops done, is when you're going to start seeing people really press on. More cars in the pits. Lindholt, Domino, Fletcher, Luke, Voracek, Gaillard, Hall, Kleiber, lots of people. Oh, our top 4 all came in at once. Can't see from that camera. Can't see from that one either. That, I thought that was Drexler coming out for a minute. Not sure who that was in the 4 that was just coming out. So that actually, after all that, only Sylvia Moraine and Merlin Cooper have not been through the pits. So within 5 laps, the entire field, or near as damn it the entire field, has pitted. Away go the front runners. Whoa! Caroni spun! Jared Caroni dropped it. That's Alex Bennett that's just gone through. So Michael Drexler now leads the way, and that is a perfect opportunity for Drexler to give himself some very much needed breathing space. And there's the 343 Porsche. That's... Who is that? That's Craig Parsons. Without the rear wing on his car. So something is very nasty has happened to him. So now the only person not coming through the pits is Merlin Cooper. And now your race leader is Drexler. With that wounded Parsons right behind him. And Alex Bennett is second. With a 2.1 second gap between himself and Jared Caroni. And Merlin Cooper has now brought his car in. Dan Sasolski 4. Parkinson 5. Marinsky 6th. Claudia Klima 7. Timo Gorlik 8. What on earth? Christoph Holste's all the way down there in 9th now. Oh, he had a very long pit stop. He was in there for over a minute. Now, I didn't see damage on his car. With the pace he had would indicate he didn't have damage. So that's an error in the pit stop. Maybe he's changed his tyres. Or he's taken on more fuel. I would think that is a mistake. He could have changed his tyres. He's perfectly entitled to. We don't tend to see that, though, in the GTE League. As one set of tyres will do the distance. But we will see if that pays off. As that is, wow, the VSR Ferrari getting very much out of the way of our race leader. So now everybody's been through the pits. Now that all that's shaken down, Michael Drexler leads Jared Caroni by 5.5 seconds. In the Pro-Ams, Alex Bennett leads Knut Martinsen. Wow, Knut really did elevate himself through the field. By 21 seconds is the gap between Bennett and Knut. Oh, Ganymed just lost a position to Knut Martinsen, actually. Oh, that'll be why. What's happened? Dominic Ganymed's race is just going from bad to disastrous. Whoa, he got way too deep into turn 1. Couldn't hold it. Bounced over the grass. And just lost that momentum. And the Ferrari has gone past him. And in the AMs, Victor Matios still leads. And that, I think, is Merlin Cooper coming out of the pits. The 369 Porsche. Oh, that's a lag out there. That is indeed Merlin Cooper's car. And it needs a lap down, unfortunately. So Victor Matios leads Nick Domino by 8 seconds. So that's your top 2 in each class. Oh, look at Marinsky. Right on the tail of Nathan Parkinson. That is for 5th. We have 33 minutes plus change left of this race. So you're probably going to see a bit more, people holding station for now. Ooh, no, I did think he was going to have a go around the outside. You'd need to close in so much quicker than that if you're going to try an outside move at turn 1. Gadimir is still very close to Knut Martinsen. Knut may opt to just let Dominic go. Yeah, that's Knut letting Dominic go. There's no point Knut fighting Dominic. They're not in the same class. It would only slow them both down. There in the background is Paolo Martins, who's on 18 incident points now. He really has got to be careful how he proceeds. Jared Caroni is closing in, has been closing in pretty rapidly on Alex Bennett. But he's 5 seconds off the lead with that one mistake in the pit lane that's cost him a huge amount of time and the potential race win. So there's several places I'm keeping an eye on. Jared Caroni, his battle is very much with Drexler. It's not really with Alex Bennett. I wouldn't be surprised if Alex let him go. Someone was side by side. Oh, that's someone getting out of the way. I didn't see who that was. Oh, that's the rear wingless Porsche. Oh, Lindholt is very close to Renault Luke. Again, that's not for position. No, it's not for class position, I should say. It's for on-track position, but not for class position. So again, there may not necessarily be a lot of fighting going on there, but right behind Lindholt is Voracek and Washington. They very much are for class position, and that is for 4th in the AM class. So a lot of potential points on offer there. Look how close Marinsky is now. Now we're going to start to see really what drivers are made of. Yeah, with the exception of Pana Martins, no one is particularly dangerous on incident limits now. With the unfortunate loss of Sarah Dove. Oh, Regis Lamique and Ivan. Oops! That's not how you take turn one. What's happened to the 298 Porsche? Oh, he was too hot into turn one. Oh, he's ended up in a very awkward position. Yeah, gets out of that. Nicely recovered. He actually had enough time behind or between himself and Victor Matias to not lose an on-track position there. It's going to be interesting to see what Alex Bennett does here. I'm assuming Alex is going to let Jarrad go. But we will see. Alex Bennett getting a slipstream as well. Off of whoever that is. Cut the cars up. Let's see who that is from this range. I suspect that it's Jürgen Kleiber. Oh, this could get interesting. It's the 390 Ferrari. That is James Hall, who has done a good job staying very much out of the way. And through. I don't think Caroni was particularly held up there. Oh, that'll be Jürgen Kleiber they're catching up to. It is indeed the Frederick Hecker 340 BMW. Now, a driver is not obliged to jump off the track. You actually have a representative of all three classes there. The Pro, the Pro-Am, and the Am. They're not obliged to jump out of the way. They just need to do what they can to not hold up those that are trying to lap them to any unnecessary degree. Which can often be very difficult. It depends on where they're caught, essentially. And there's Parkinson on a Marinsky. Battle for 5th position between the Mayella Porsche and the Geodesic Ferrari. Mayella BMW, beg your pardon. Parkinson slipstream on the inside of the BMW. And that is 5th position. And a back marker for good measure. I'm not sure who that is they're catching up to. But we're going to start seeing a lot more of that now. The Ferrari's gone very high on the banking. That's why he's picking up the slipstream from the 355. Oh, Kleiber has lost the position to James Hall. I suspect he's letting people through, and James Hall's capitalised on it. Okay, yeah, you're perfectly entitled to do. What's going on with Timo Glock? I nearly said that. Timo Gorlick. Oh, I thought we'd lost Andrew Langham's service. Remember that? Oh, Holstein on the outside of turn 1. Timo Gorlick has been closing in for a while. And still not done. Inside of turn 3. Oh, no. Impact between the two. Oh, that is... that's very, very close. There's the Castrol Ford. Oh, hello, Nunu. You contact me, essentially. Becoming a commentator for AOR comes through me, as I am the head commentator for AOR, and I basically look after the commentators. So contact me is the short answer to that. Oh, Nick Domino and Richard Fletcher. That is for second in the AM classes. Richard Fletcher's gone a bit deep. He had to get out of that. Very close. Oh, thank you there, Dan. I've just spotted your correction on my pronunciation of Margiela. I see. I stand corrected. I thought the J was pronounced as a Y. Nick Domino's got, looks like he's going to have a lot of work to do. Oh, Daniel Page and Chris Bell. Whoa! Swap position. The Bushwink Porsche is chasing, there he is, one of the Magella HCR Yamagura, chasing the Yamagura Ferrari. Oh, another. Oh, that's Gorlick and Holstein again. Fight in the. Yeah, that is game on between the Comrade and Geodesic cars. Oh, Gorlick's gone deep, and Holstein's cut back underneath him. Very nicely driven. Oh, trouble for Andrew Langham's service. No, not trouble. It's just. There is Chris Bell trying an outside manoeuvre. Turn one. Oh, cut benign. And again, not happy about that. Look, fair enough from here. Chris Bell has been a fan of flashing the lights after crossing sword with Paolo Martins, who's 3 seconds down the road from this battle and on 19 incident points. So he's on the verge of being disqualified. And look how defensive Langham's service was coming into turn 5. Very, very close. Daniel Page has got a great ringside seat for the battle ahead of him. And that's Page just making himself known in the mirrors of the 235 Porsche. Goodness me, the 235 Ferrari. You have BMW, Ferrari, and Porsche. You just need a Ford in this mixture, and all of them will be represented. And whilst looking at that, oh, there goes Chris Bell. He's going for an inside manoeuvre coming into the bus stop. He's going to have to commit to that. And he does. Chris Bell into 13th. Ahead of Andrew Langham's service. But now he's going to be under pressure to fend off that geodesic BMW. That's going to be difficult to do. The BMW's gone high. Andrew Langham's service has the momentum on the Magella Ferrari. Through the final turn, over the line. Langham's service is nosed ahead. Can he get the outside manoeuvre into turn 1? Oh, not quite. No, he's going to try and cut underneath for turn 2. And no, can't get the move done. Sits behind at the moment. Caroni has been absolutely charging. He's ahead of Alex Bennett, as you can see, and Alex is just tucked into the slipstream. Thank you very much. I'll be towed along. And Caroni took 0.8 of a second out of the lead that Drexler has. He can't afford to be taking it easy. And the AM podium battle continues to rage on between Domino and Fletcher. That is for second. Class leader is he's some 10 seconds down the road. Battles are plenty. Holstein and Gorlick still fighting in the Porsches. Lagging Holstein once again. Gorlick's got himself about half a second's worth of breathing space, but that can disappear very, very quickly when the slipstream is at play. Not a great deal of speed difference, only about 6 kilometers an hour. Oh, stop lagging out, Mr. Holstein. No, he's too close to turn 1 to make a move there. Oh, Chris Bell, Andrew Langham's service. Those two still side by side. The geodesic BMW back ahead of the Magella Ferrari, and the BMW tucks back in front. That is a battle for 13th overall. That is a big old Pro-Am scrap. That is for third. No, for fourth, beg your pardon. Oh, kick up the backside for Langham's service there from Chris Bell. He can't do that very often. Oh, that's someone very much staying out of the way. Oh, that is close. Having a look on the outside coming towards turn 5. He doesn't need to be that desperate, though. You've still got another 20 minutes on the clock. But... Chris Bell's on 18 incident points. He can't be affording to make too many mistakes. Nunu in chat asking the difference between the pros, the AMs and the Pro-Ams. It is essentially 3 different championships being run on the same race. So whilst everybody can fight everybody else on track, the divisions are there to help, to encourage drivers to drive better. They've got someone to fight against, irrespective of where they are on track. It's a very short definition, short explanation. As Chris Bell trying an outside manoeuvre, coming into turn 8. But, he's lost out a lot of momentum there. Daniel Page now looking to get interested in the Bushfink 219 Porsche. Is that going to jeopardise that position for Chris Bell? And no, Daniel Page is not going to have the momentum to try on the outside, I shouldn't think. Nope. Was not close enough at the point that he committed to that. But that battle has got a lot of legs on it yet. Who else can we have a look at? Klima and Parkinson still very, very close together. And actually, Parkinson's not far off the back of Dan Sasolski either. That's a battle for 4th overall. 3rd, that's the the last step of the pro podium. And I'm keeping an eye on Jared Careni as well. He's taken another couple of tenths out of Mike Drexler. 3.2 seconds separates the top 2. So at that kind of pace, he might do it. There is Mike Drexler. He's going around the final turn, so he's certainly got his eyes on the prize. He's Bennett, as I think he's going to struggle to maintain the slipstream to Jared Caroni. No disrespect, he's done brilliantly well to hang on to those top positions. And I think just the raw pace of Jared Caroni has been proven to be something absolutely unbeatable. It's just that one mistake he caused himself, exiting the pits after the pit stop. Oh wow, that's deep for Alex Bennett. There's a 3-way battle now for 4th. 3rd in the pros. Sasolski leads Parkinson, leads Klima. So the geodesic number 1 leads the geodesic number 155. Leads the geodesic number 110. There's a pattern in there. It's interesting in Nathan Parkinson's livery, he's actually quite different to the other 2 geodesics around him. They still look awesome though. Thank you to Nick Domino, our amazing artwork meister, for putting the skin back together and also the overlay. And also accrediting me on his car, you crazy, crazy man. That's interesting. That's putting Klima right in the clutches. Well, in striking distance of Parkinson now. We're forever assured that there's no team orders going on at Geodesic. And we've never seen anything to the contrary, in fairness. And I can't imagine that they're suddenly going to start employing team orders now. That's the view from the nose of the 110 Claudio Klima's Porsche. Nothing going to happen this time, perhaps. No, me of little faith. Nathan Parkinson, Dan Sasolski's going to have no answer to that. Oh, here comes Klima. Is he going to try and part the waves? Oh no, he's hit the back. I'd imagine one of the team orders was don't take your teammate off. Oh no, Nathan Parkinson spinning off. Oh, I saw what Klima was going for. He was trying to get past Dan as well, but just didn't have enough room. There's Inar Marinsky in the Magella HCR Scuderia BMW. Oh, disaster for the geodesic camp. Goodness me. I imagine there's going to be a few words said about that one. Nathan Parkinson was minding his own business there. Unfortunately, that was all on Klima. Trying to make up 2 positions coming into turn 1. But Dan Sasolski still has that position. What's going on down here? That is Roberto Edouard and Sylvian Moraine scrapping it for 19th overall. So Edouard's a newcomer to this league. He was with us last week. He's struggled to maintain the pace of the pros. He's having a decent scrap with Sylvian there. And Sylvian is about 9th, I think, in the Pro-Ams. There or thereabouts. Paolo Martins is still going on 19 incident points. He's running that one close to the wind, as they say. I think Martinson has actually stayed in the slipstream of Dominic Gainemir for quite a while. But Dominic has not had, or certainly didn't have great pace last time around. 1:43.3 for the 137 Comrade Porsche. Canute could easily pass him at that, but we'll see how the remainder of the race goes. 16 minutes remain. Michael Draxler, the 189 Huber Racing Esports Ferrari, leads Caroni. Alex Bennett's called back up with him. Nicely done all. Canute and Dominic, I think, were side by side coming into turn 1. But no change of position there. Alex Bennett has led the Pro-Am category from lights out and still does so. Dan Sasolski, the champion, in 4th. There is Klima. Parkinson is 2 seconds behind, and now with the rear view mirror full of Einar Marinsky. I cannot imagine that Nathan Parkinson's going to have an answer to the BMW of Marinsky once the slipstream starts to take effect. There he goes. Einar is going to jump to the inside. That's going to be a pretty straightforward manoeuvre. And there he goes. Nathan knew that one was done. And brake a bit early. Now the BMW is going to be in trouble. Already, as Einar had a pretty bad run on the exit of the bus stop chicane. And back up into 6th for Nathan Parkinson. I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, that's what I thought was going to happen, but I don't think he's going to be able to pick up the slipstream and get back past before turn 1 unless he has a huge dive. And that's exactly what he did. It wasn't a huge dive. That's, well, still side by side, actually. As Parkinson's not willing to just let that one go. Still side by side through 2. And the BMW is going to slot behind the Ferrari coming into 3. What this is really doing is backing them away from Klima. But with the clock ticking down, there's not going to be so much room for teamwork. 10 laps remain here at Daytona. The lead now down to 2.3 seconds. That's the view back from Draxler back to Caroni and Bennett. And once again, Draxler losing a fair chunk of time. Oh, what's going on back here? Oh, that's an unusual line for the Ford. That's what on earth has just happened to Chris Yardley? You completely overshot turn 8, didn't you? Yep, you did. It looked like he was stuck on the wall, so he may well have had a technical problem there. So he's gone through the cones. He's had to slow down, and he'll have to close down that 1.6 seconds between himself and Anthony Washington now. Alex Bennett is still staying in the slipstream of Caroni. Now, I fully envisage that Alex Bennett is not interested at all in trying to pass Jared Caroni. It's whether Jared Caroni knows that. Oh, what's going on down here? That is Washington and Yardley. Oh, Evan Imre, what's just happened to you? So that's on the back straight heading towards the bus stop chicane again. So Evan's speed on 0. It's not normally a good thing. Oh, someone's had a huge problem there. I can't see who that is. That's someone that's retired. I do not know who that was, unfortunately. So Evan Imre, through not really any fault of his own, had to take some avoiding action there and ended up very much on no man's land. Alex Bennett is still right with Jared Caroni. Einar Marinsky still with Nathan Parkinson. Holstein and Gorlick still in their battle. Martinson and Gadamer still fairly close together. Bell and Langham service. We are fast approaching 10 minutes remaining. so close between so many people after this length of time. Costa and Daniel Page not too far behind, not too far apart. Eduardo Moraine still in their battle. Domino, Fletcher, and Rano Luke now. Rano Luke's not in the AM class, so isn't technically part of the isn't part of the championship battle. That's Daniel Lindholt as well, dragging with him. Oh, oh no, sorry, that is Lindholt. They've got someone in the way, essentially. Can't see who that is. 343, I think that is. That is Craig. No, 343 is Craig Parsons. That's not the car I was trying to identify. It's the only downside of trying to identify them by their car numbers. Another 10th gone from the lead. It's still over 2 seconds, though, with 10 and a bit minutes remaining. Well, Page and Costa have swapped round. It's not really going to mean a great deal. Costa in the pros, Page in the pro-ams. Oh, Fletcher and Rano Luke very, very close together. And Nick Domino on the lead of that. There's the V3 Porsche of Rano Luke. That's not really going to cost Nick Domino anything, as Rano Luke is in the pro-ams. He's going to slot in behind the Porsche. He had to close off Richard Fletcher there. This is for second in the AMs. So that's why Nick Domino will be working very hard to keep that British liveried Ferrari behind him. And I thought that could have gotten very ugly there, as the Porsche could well have... the Ferrari could well have tried an outside manoeuvre on Nick Domino. Didn't go for it. And right with him is Daniel Lindholt in the treble 3 Porsche. So many people so close together. Rano Luke will probably try and distance himself from that AM battle that rages on. Oh, Holstein and Gorlick side by side once again off of that back straight into turn 1. And no, Holstein knew he couldn't make the move. Oh, Parkinson! No! What has happened to Nathan Parkinson? Oh, he dropped into turn 1! Oh, that was Enar Marinsky that came past. There goes Gorlick and Holstein. He's just going to have to be very, very careful about how he recovers from there. There he goes. There is Gaidemer and Martinson. That puts Nathan Parkinson all the way down into 11th position. Oh no, Richard Fletcher! Oh no, sorry, it was Daniel Lindholt. That's oh my goodness, he's gone for a hell of a spot. Well, it was actually both. Oh, impact between the two. Lindholt and Fletcher. They've gone for a huge spin on the infield there. Lindholt comes to a stop. I think Fletcher did as well. I mean, they essentially picked a very empty bit of track to do that pirouette in. Now that's cost them a huge amount of time. Oh no, Regis the Meek! Oh, that's another incident that he's just been caught up in. Oh, that's the Castrol Ford! As he's gone for a spin and smack. Unfortunately, that has caught out Regis the Meek. That was Marco Zelenica, and that incident has actually pushed him over the instant limit. Marco is out. Quite a few people now facing that particular bullet. What a shame for Regis the Meek. There's going to be a fair amount of damage on his car. Holstein and Gorlick still having a scrap for 7th. 6th in class. And the gap up front has continued to fall. There it is. Race leader Michael Drexler has had a chasing Caroni on his case for so long. He just has to keep it on the black stuff for another 7.5 minutes. But Caroni has got incredible pace still at this late stage. He is dragging Alex Bennett. That's the back marker that's right behind them. I can't see who that is. I don't know who's running the British liveried Ford. There's one of the AMs, but I can't tell who. Into the bus stop again. There's Mike Drexler now. Is going to be picking up some slipstream from someone. I was thinking that was Panama Martins, but it's not he. That's a VEC Ferrari. That's going to help Drexler try and just give him that little bit of extra distance between himself and Caroni. But of course, Caroni's going to pick up that same bit of slipstream in a few laps' time. But there's only about 5 laps left. Oh no, Parkinson again! And he is out. Nathan Parkinson has retired his car. What's happened here? Oh, he dropped it into the bus stop and slams into the wall. Nathan Parkinson, the 155 geodesic Ferrari, is out. Oh my goodness me, what a tragedy for him. Oh, Regis the Meeks had another problem. He's probably struggling to limp that wounded Porsche home. The tail does not want to stick. Oh, and nearly catches Alexander Walder there. As he stays very much out of people's way. He's staying on the apron. And that is one of the Lions Racing Porsches. I suspect... Is that Reith Miller? Nope. No, that was that VEC Ferrari. Not sure which of the Lions Racing Porsches that was. Who should we look at these closing stages? Holstein is still having his battle with Gorlick. For 7th position. 5 and a bit minutes to go. 5 laps remain. The gap is very nearly under 1 second. And that is then, if it does duck under 1 second, that's going to start giving Caroni slipstream on Drexler. There is the top 3. And the third AM driver, which is Dan Sasolski, he's 10.5 seconds behind Michael Drexler. As Mike is now catching up with another couple of the AM Porsches. That's the view from Mike. That's the view from Jared. Oh, I'll tell you who's just swapped position. Gorlick and Holstein. That battle still rages on. Holstein did nose ahead, but not enough to commit to that 7th spot. Still, Holstein is fighting Gorlick with everything he's got left. Bell and Langham Service are still in their battle. That's for 12th overall. That is 5th in the Pro-Ams. And there behind is Ivo Costa. He hasn't had a particularly good race, unfortunately. But still doing what he can. And now, this is going to be interesting between Caroni and Drexler. That gap is under a second. And Caroni's going to pick up some slipstream from this Porsche as long as it doesn't hold him up too badly in the bus stop. And there is Drexler. Look at that. If this AM Porsche jumps out of the way, which it ought to. There he goes, the 360 Porsche. That is Jerzy Varacek. And that, I think, ahead of him is Daniel Linholt. Yes, it is. So Caroni is really, really honing in on Drexler now. Less than 3 minutes to go. 3 laps remain. Unfortunately, Alex Bennett got a little bit caught out there as Holstein and Gorlick are still fighting for 7th. And still the geodesic Porsche remains in that spot, defending that inside line exactly when he needs to. And Holstein just not finding a way past. That is the view back from Drexler's car. That is less than 3/4 of a second. Caroni now well inside the amount he needs for slipstream. Drexler's now going to have to work very, very hard to keep Caroni behind him. This is going to be a battle to the flag. Of course, if Jared does get ahead of Mike, then Mike has got slipstream off of him. So this is going to be about timing as well as pace. Half the field are a lap down. Well, not well. That's half of the entire field, not of the remaining field. As we have lost, what are we at now? we're down to 38 cars in this race, starting from 50. Caroni edges ever so closer to Drexler. He's going to be in striking range very, very soon. In fact, that soon. And Drexler just wanders his car into the middle. A fair and just defense to keep Caroni behind. Drexler will need to take a leaf out of Timo Gorlick's book. And look how defensive that Drexler's gone into turn 3. Caroni is going to need every bit. Oh, that was a back marker. I didn't even see who that was. They flew past it too quick. This scrap is going to be immense. It's been building up for so long. There's Bennett just behind them, who unfortunately is not going to, unless these two come together or slow each other down drastically. Bennett is going to be out of this moment. He doesn't need to be anywhere near it. He is going to. He's got a colossal lead over the Pro-Ams. He's about 12. Let's have a quick look at what that is. That is about 28 seconds or so that he has over Knut Martinsson, second in the Pro-Ams. There is Caroni. He's jumped out from the slipstream. He's going to go on the outside of Drexler. But can Michael do anything about it? No, Jared Caroni. As the checkered flag falls, it's going to fall now. It's denied. Mike Drexler, if he was counting on another lap to attack back, he hasn't got it. But he's got the slipstream, though. Can he do anything about it? Has he pulled out too early? He has. I think that's going to be... Yeah, he has. Drexler's backed out of it. There goes Caroni. Your winner here in Daytona is going to be Jared Caroni. What an immense finish. Wow. I think Drexler actually backed out of that. And ironically, Alex Bennett crossed the line in second. I wonder if Drexler ran out of fuel. Oh no, I think he's still pressing on. I think he's actually run out. Oh no, he's got. Well, the display says he has 93 litres. I don't think he does. Wow, what a finish! I think Drexler realised he didn't have an extra lap to attack Caroni back. That was a brilliantly timed overtake from Jared Caroni to take that race win. So even with the spin of the pit lane dropping him nearly 6 seconds behind, he still came back to win. Unbelievable pace from Caroni. Dan Sasolski has come out of this in 4th. Klima 5, Marinsky 6th, Gorlick 7th. Gorlick did manage to beat Holstein in the end for 7th position. Then Gademan 9, and Knut Martinsson is going to come home 2nd in the Pro-Ams in 10th position overall. Langham Service 3rd for Pro-Am. Paolo Martins did manage to find the checker flag despite the fact he was on 19 incident points for a very, very long time. He comes home in 4th in the Pro-Ams. Chris Bell in 5th and 14th overall. Our AM winner by a long way was Victor Matias. And 2nd in the AMs was Nick Domino. Very nicely done. And Richard Fletcher rounds out the AM podium. Oh, wow. What a race. I think everybody has actually come across the line now, so we can go through our results. So, Caroni takes the win by taking the lead in the final lap as the counter was ticking down. Perfectly timed strike. Bennett for Pro-Am in 2. Then it is Drexler, Sasolski, Klima, Marinsky, Gorlick, Holstein, Gademan, Martinson, Langham Service, Martins, Costa, Bell, Page, Imre, Edouard, Moraine, Waldo, Matias, Lemique, Luke, Domino, Fletcher, Lindholtz, I've forgotten how we said it again, Vorzacek, Yardley, Washington, Smith, Reithmuller, Hall, Salinar, Parsons, Gaillard, Cooper, Van Eyck, Parkinson, Zelenika, Hitchcock I think did see the flag. Some of these didn't. Those that didn't see the flag, I believe, were Kleiber, Tucker, Dove, Coombe, Foku, Scapers, McCracken, Hendricks, McFall, Williamson, and Pfeffer. Holy moly! That was intense. Towards the end, exactly as I expected it to be. Let's see who wants to have a chat with me, shall we? Sarah Dove. She always makes herself available, bless her. Sadly, she didn't see the checkered flag, but gave it her best. She had trouble in qualifying, I believe. We'll see if anybody else wants to come and have a chat with me. It is not mandatory. They don't have to. Jared Caroni does, though. Let's have a chat to him.
During the qualification.
Bonjour, Jared.
Bonsoir. Hello.
Wow. Now, I must ask, at the point that you made that overtake, did you know that the checker flag was about to drop, or did you think you had another lap to go?
No, we already knew that the white flag was out, so I just went for it.
Wow. So, we saw a very uncharacteristic mistake, that spin in the pit lane. Yes, we did see it.
I did the Grosjean.
I wasn't going to say that, but you did it for me. So, I mean, I take it that was just you came off the pit limiter too quick with too much gas, I assume.
No, it's because I have the habitude that the speed limit is a bit slower, so you don't get into the RPM so fast. And I just forgot this, and yeah, I spun.
Oh, wow. But it didn't make a jot of difference. Still battling through to take the win. Absolutely amazing. When that mistake happened, did you think that the win was not going to happen? Or did you still think, I can press on, I'm going to go for it?
No, honestly, with the gap that Michael made, I thought it was done. But I saw during the bus stop and the first corner, that he was lifting because he went very quick out of the pit. So I knew that he was lifting to save fuel till the end. I was too, and I had more luck, I think, during the traffic phase. So I just push as much as I could.
Brilliant stuff. I'm only just catching my breath now from all that. Absolutely amazing. Well done once again, Gerard. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you. Bye.
Nick Domino is available. Let's grab our second place AM finisher.
Hello.
Hello, Nick.
Hello, King.
Well, firstly, thank you very much for your very kind words on the front of your car.
Yeah,
crazy man.
It's all true. Yeah.
Well, you had a lot of work to do, didn't you? Second in the AMs, very nicely done.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a hectic start, and I got some damage, and I just had people touching me, so I was like, oh, this is just the worst, especially after I went through the pit entry at the third lap, and I was like, oh my god, I'm probably so far behind. And then suddenly I was like, I'm P3. Oh, I'm P2 now. And then I had Richard trying to overtake me. I knew that I could defend against him due to the side slipstream. So, but yeah, that was one of the hardest races I've done yet. But yeah, it's very good. I have finally conquered this track. I think it's the third time. I think we have done it 3 times before, and I've crashed from P1 all 3 times.
No.
So finally conquered this track.
So don't lead your class. You'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So, did you have? Was that playing on your mind then before the race began, or did you just kind of head down, get on with it?
Well, it kind of did a bit of I just need to be here. But then again, I know that I know this track, and I know that I can be fast from here. So I really know that this is one of the tracks that I'm I'm doing well on. Just need to get a couple of laps in, and then I need to head of Victor. He's just going away with this championship at the moment.
There's plenty of fighting to be had. Anything in particular you're looking forward to in the rest of the season, Nick?
No, it's all difficult tracks. I won't be here next week. I already know that. But so I'm losing one more race there. So it's all tracks that we kind of know. But yeah, it's all. There's no easy tracks left. It's all very, very difficult tracks. So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be good.
Awesome stuff. Good luck for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, thank you.
We have Alex Bennett in the box. Let's have a chat with him. Hello, Alex.
Hey.
Well, talk us through it. How was your race for you?
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, I got a bit of a love affair with this track. And qualifying went really, really well. I got the timing hooked up perfectly to the car in front. I can't quite remember who it was, but yeah, the second run I got an insane slipstream and got right up there in the top group. And then from there, it was just desperately trying to stay in the slipstream. I mean, the pace that the pro guys were saying was crazy, but so long as you don't fall, 1.5 seconds back, it's not too hard to keep up.
Were you it looked like you were attached by a rope to Gerard for quite a long time after the pit stops. So were you kind of thinking, I mentioned this quite a few times, where I'm sure you weren't at all interested in trying to make the move, but did it play into your mind, you think, oh, I could just slip through on the inside of here? Did that enter your mind at all?
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple points I maybe could have gone for it, but I knew that we were catching Michael up front, and I knew that Jawed was quicker in clean air than I was, so I was pretty happy to stick behind and then see what happens at the end of the race. And yeah, I mean, obviously Michael ran out of fuel, I think, across the line, so ended up getting P2 from it, so I think it was the right call. But yeah, I think if I'd tried to pass Jawed, then I probably wouldn't have been able to catch Michael, so yeah, I think it was the right choice just to stick behind.
Any particular races you're looking forward to in the last half of the season?
Well, definitely not as much as Daytona, but I don't know. I mean, I think that Road America and Sebring will be pretty good for me as well. But yeah, I've got a couple really, really bad tracks in the last part of the season. So if I've got to just try and score as many points as I can in this midsection, because yeah, especially tracks like Suzuka and Kota, I'm going to struggle a lot with, I think.
Well, I would imagine today's result has really benefited your championship somewhat. Great efforts, and not only did you win your own category, you were on the podium in amongst the pros. So, great effort there, well done. See you next week.
Thanks.
And from someone's race that was absolutely amazing to Sarah's race, who sadly didn't end well, let's have a chat with Sarah Dove. Hello, Sarah.
Hello.
Well, that one didn't go very well for you. You came into trouble early on, and I seem to, I think you said in chat after quali that you had some difficulty there as well. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I got crashed into on the outlap of the qualifying, so I lost the train, lost any draft, etc., and then didn't really get a good lap. And then the start was kind of bad, and I lost positions and accidentally hit someone, and my car was really unstable, and I was really slow in a straight line. So it's not a good race. I was kind of looking forward to it, because on Saturday there was a invitational race here in the MX5 for the Division 1 MX5 driver, which I won, representing Team AOR.
Nice.
So I was kind of happy. Well, I was really happy with that, and so I thought, okay, I can maybe bring that over to this. but it didn't really work out.
Such is the nature of the beast, unfortunately. Anything on the calendar you're looking forward to?
The wild card has now been put in, and unfortunately it's not the best track, but it's a good one. Phillip Island should be good because it's a really good track, and it's not really used enough. It's kind of it kind of has a motorsport vibe to it because there's lots of runoff area, but it's all grass. So if you go off the track, you're not getting back on the track for about 3 years.
I see.
And hopefully the final round at Road Atlanta will be good. That's a really good track for me.
Awesome stuff. Well, good luck for the remainder of the season, and we look forward to chatting to you again.
I hope I get better luck. Thank you.
And that is going to be it for this evening's race. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream. A great pleasure to have you with us as always. Thank you very much to our sponsors. Without you guys, AOR would not continue to grow. And we will be back next week for more GTE action, with there's plenty of racing going on in between then and now. So catch up with us then. Until then, thank you very much and good night.